be hoping it stays relatively cool, because they really did suffer yesterday.
Yeah, we thought Fabio Quartararo's struggles in the sprint yesterday might have been potentially physical.
Work that Maverick's done throughout the weekend. I noticed that there hasn't been too many laps on the medium rear. Is that a bit of a concern going into today's race?
Well, yeah, but it's not 100%.
Three boss Nico Goyon. Yeah, as Jack pointed out there, Vinales has seemingly posed the biggest thorn in the side of the Ducatis on home turf so far this weekend. Vinales' best sprint since his Aston podium, well, pretty much 12 months ago yesterday.
Yamaha, so they're not the only ones out there landlocked on that medium rear tyre.
Yeah, thanks as always, Jack. We'll keep a close eye on the Michelin tyre selection sheet before it comes out. 2 p.m. local time as always. The 23-lap Grand Prix of Italy coming up later on this afternoon. And Marco Bezzecchi's given himself a bit of an early confidence jolt going into his home round later on this afternoon, because Bez has topped the morning warm-up session. He's taken it by just under a tenth of a second clear of Marc Marquez, who sits 35 points clear in the World Championship after sprint win number 8 of 2025. Saturday afternoons have been very much the liking of the 93, haven't they? And of course, it was in Mugello back in the day where he took his first ever Grand Prix success, and today the number 93 could make it career win number 93.
So I wonder whether Marc Marquez might get himself to the grid for the start of the Grand Prix, the end of the warm-up lap, slightly earlier than he did yesterday, just to make sure that everything is absolutely correct. Of course, yesterday, in the seconds, literally seconds before the red lights went out, Marc Marquez was still trying to make sure that his launch control was fully engaged, and he said that he didn't actually start by looking at the lights. He just went on the noise of all the other bikes around him, dropping their clutches and heading off the line. At one point, Marc Marquez on that run down to San Donato was as low as 7th or 8th and was already back up into 3rd by the end of the first lap, and it only took him 3 and a bit laps to regain the lead again.
It's Fabio Quartararo. It's going to be a painful 23 laps this afternoon for the Frenchman. Of course, that crash at turn 4 on Friday afternoon, did have to go to a nearby hospital in Florence just to get that shoulder checked out. Fair play to Fabio, he wasn't portioning the blame on the shoulder for his slump 10th place yesterday. Yeah, Marc Marquez, I mean, to sort of keep his composure and keep his focus. I mean, 6 or 7 balls on the brakes into the first corner, finished the lap in the podium places. He didn't even have his hand on the right handlebar, did he? Seconds before the start, of course, he got his left hand on the clutch. He was already in gear, ready for the start, and then he literally just about got his hand back on the throttle before he had to twist it and go. It was astonishing how he was just able to sort of keep the concentration, keep the focus.